name's Robert Dean Steele, and this is your daily Bible class. We're looking at the book of 2 John. What a great book. And I really enjoyed our last session together, but I'm going to enjoy this one as well. It says in verse number 4 of 2 John, "It has given me great joy to find that some of your children are walking in truth, even as our Father commanded us to do." We are called to walk in truth. We are commanded to walk in truth. And he says, the marvelous thing is, dear lady, not only are you walking in the truth, but the generation following you is walking in the truth. There is nothing more wonderful than having the promise of Acts 16:31 distributed in our children's and our grandchildren, to know that they are loving the Lord with all their heart and soul and mind and strength, and seeing them follow the Lord and follow in truth. He says, it gives me great joy to see that happen. It is always a wonderful joy of pastors and leaders to see entire families serving the Lord. You know, I have the privilege of not only having all my children serving the Lord, but their spouses as well, and my grandchildren up to this point. You know, I have a little 8-month-old granddaughter. Her name is Sarah, and I'm so wonderfully seeing how that my son Robert is pouring the Word of God and loving his daughter and teaching her and showing her the ways of God. And my son Ryan, who is currently, him and his wife Becky are having a baby very shortly, sometime in April. And folks, you know what the marvelous thing is? The marvelous thing is that they themselves know the Lord, and they are going to give that to their child. And so, folks, it is wonderful to have children and grandchildren serving the Lord, and not only as a father, but as a pastor as well. He says, "And now, my dear children, I'm not writing to you a new commandment, but one that we've had from the very beginning." He says, "I'm writing with pen and paper. Not a new commandment. In fact, it was a commandment given to us right from the very beginning." He says, "When I came to visit you, when I talked to you, when you received it right from the very beginning, you know that this commandment was not a new one, but was given to us from the beginning. And what is this? And this is love." He says, listen, what's the commandment? We're called to love one another. Jesus Christ said in the book of John that people will know that we are his disciples by the way that we love one another. It says, and we walk in obedience to that command. Yes, we are to walk in obedience to that command. We're called to love. We're to demonstrate love. We are to have this wonderful quality of love demonstrated, and it's an obedient thing. You make that decision to walk in love. Even though some people are not that lovely, even some of the situations are not lovely that we find ourselves in, we have made a decision to be obedient to the command of walking in love. He says, and as you've heard from the beginning, it is his command to do one thing. What is that? To walk in love today. It's a commandment, folks. It's not an option. It's not a suggestion. You know, often we think that the 10 commandments are, 10 suggestions. This commandment that has been given us to love is not a suggestion. It's not an option. It's not something that you can ignore. It is a commandment of God to walk in love. It was one that we received right from the very beginning. It's the first thing that we should be aware of, the fact that we are to love those made in the image of God. We are to walk in love and give that love to a world. Even if people don't deserve it, we are to make that choice to walk in love. That's what John is saying today. My name is Robert Dean Steele. This is your daily Bible class. You have yourself a great and godly day.